Hello to everybody, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I will be starting in just a minute, but I wanted to give you a chance to say hi. Hi. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I will try to monitor your chat in a minute. Waiting for connection. So, what is your astrology level, if you don't mind me asking? Total beginner. Okay. Same with you. I was figuring that we might have a little bit of a variety of people on beginner or otherwise. So, yeah. So, nobody's at the advanced stage. Okay. I need to get on the Wi Fi. Now, the right one here is Owl. Okay. Oh, no, it's connecting. It's good. Click here to continue to the internet. Thank you. Yes. I am live on YouTube. Yay. All right. So now I will be able to see people's comments in just a moment. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see live now. There we go. Hey, I can see me. Hi. Maybe I should move it. Can I hear me okay? There we go. Yes, we can hear me good. All right. So say hi when you guys get here. I'm going to move this over so you guys can see me a little bit better. Because why not? You guys get this perspective. Ta-da. I'm not blocking anybody, so we're good. All right. Yes, you guys always see me sitting down. So for once, you guys get to see me standing up and wandering around. I do Facebook lives, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch lives on doing tarot readings all the time. So I have no doubt that we're going to have some people showing up. Hello, Deborah, Diane, Rose. Well, I miss you being here too. And I know I'm not looking at the camera, so we're just going to do it like this. There we go. Here we are. Ta-da. Is that better? There's 10 of you here. So hi, 10 people. Hi. It's so weird because I came back here and I could see myself walking up to the camera after the fact. So yeah. Hey, now I can look at the camera and I can, you're going to be my focal point out here. So, yeah, eclipse. Do you have any plans for the eclipse besides just watching it? You too? Anybody have plans for the eclipse besides just watching it? No, just chilling, watching. You got friends and family coming over, right? Cool. Very cool. Well, I have been hearing, and we were talking about this earlier too, about that, there could be some outages from the solar flares and stuff like that. Now, of course, we've all had points in our past that, solar flares mess with everything anyway. But we got Mercury retrograde, which is even going to mess with things more. So we'll get into all that here. So, welcome everybody. Everybody online. Hi. Everybody here. Hi. So, I am Lady Shiya, or you can call me Shiya or Hey That Crazy Witch. I will answer to all of them. Okay. Um, but basically, I have been in the metaphysical field for coming up on 37 years. I come Beltane, which is May 1st, for anybody who doesn't know the weird holidays that we old pathways follow. That is May Day, okay? And so that'll be 37 years I'm working in the esoteric. I dabble in all kinds of different things like astrology, tarot, and all things esoteric. I'm also a doctor of divinity, so I have studied uh, just about every religion out there, both the modern religions and the ancient ones. So if you guys have any questions at any point, throw them out there. Those of you who are online, feel free to throw your questions out there. I can see your comments right here. That's why my iPad's sitting here. So I'm really excited about sharing my insights on this eclipse, which is showing up on Monday. Okay. And what's interesting is you guys know that for an eclipse, you have to have one of two things happening besides the fact that the sun and the moon line up. It's either got to be a full moon or a new moon. Eclipses never happen on any other time besides a full moon or a new moon. So April 8th, yes, is the new moon. Totality in our area is going to be about 3:30 in the afternoon, whereas the peak apex point of the new moon is going to be about 2:30, so about an hour before. So we have our new moon energy, and thankfully our eclipse is going to happen on a waning moon, so or a waxing moon instead of a waning moon, which basically means a waning moon is when things are going away, and a waxing moon is when things are coming towards us. Do I need to put that up here? It's being weird. Oh, how strange. Well, anyway, what is a solar eclipse? A solar eclipse obviously is a celestial event where the moon passes between us and the sun. Now, for us to be in the totality area, this is going to be an area where the shadow of the moon is literally running across the New York, upstate New York, Western New York area, and then goes all the way down. There's some areas in Texas where that totality is going to be, and it's really cool. But one of the biggest questions that people ask me is, Shia, if we're not in the totality run of the eclipse, does that mean that the energies that affect me the same way? Yes. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're here in New York, whether you're in Texas, or anywhere along the path of totality where it's going to get pitch black, or if you're off in Timbuktu and it never even gets dim. Okay. So the solar eclipse energy does affect the entire planet when it happens. Okay. So imagine being back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I'm talking about way back in the day, before the internet, before cars, before really community connections extended beyond your own little local area where you grew up. And you're running around, you're doing your thing, and you're going throughout the day, and all of a sudden, there's no sun. Okay, this became a very strong event for people in the past, looking at, oh my gosh, the sun's gone dark. In fact, we see some references of it in the Bible when you talk about, hey, we held the sun and we kept it night. Some people believe that there was a total eclipse around the time that Jesus passed, when it says right when Jesus died and the world went dark, and then the veil got ripped from top to bottom in the Holy of Holies. Many people believe that that was a solar eclipse that occurred, and seismic activity, which caused those literally several feet thick things to tear from top to bottom. That was a pretty big miracle right there. But the solar eclipse basically has a lot of astrological significance to it. And the first thing on the astrological significance to it is going to be change. All right. This is one of the biggest things that we all experience. I hate change. We get comfortable. We like our comfort zones. I don't like change any more than the rest of you do. However, what's the one thing that most people complain about to me all the time when they're talking about their lives and what they want to do differently with their life? I want change. I want things better. I feel stuck. So we get in this kind of like weird zone between, okay, I want change, but change is scary. I want things to be better, but I like the things that I know. Well, along comes the eclipse, and specifically the eclipse in Aries. And we were discussing this on my radio show earlier. We Aries, we like to headbutt things. Okay, so what this eclipse is going to do for you, it's going to run up and headbutt you into change, whether you like it or not. All right. So to understand the astrological impact of the eclipse, we need to start back in March 25th, 2024, just a few days ago, when we had a lunar eclipse in Libra. Okay. Now, everybody here is a beginner in astrology. I have some of you online that are not beginners, but many of you guys are familiar with Libra being a sign of balance. It's a sign of judgment as well. When you look at the Libra sign, it kind of goes, oh, and I'm behind on my images. There's the eclipse in Aries, by the way. Isn't that cool? I think that's a cool, yeah, we headbutt stuff. See, I'm not paying attention. But we want to talk about the eclipse corridor at this point. And so, with the Libra being that sign of balance, and with the lunar eclipse in Libra, we're looking at an emotional time where we're kind of looking at our relationships. We were talking about finance, and you had some questions on that earlier about how the Libra energy kind of makes us look back and make financial changes and financial judgments, relationship judgments, partnerships, highlighting looking for harmony and balance in your partnerships. That's when this Libra eclipse came. It came bringing all of this energy in where we're starting to evaluate. We're starting to look at our relationships. We're starting to look at our finances. We're starting to look at our personal goals and our personal peace. Okay. We are looking at what do we want in our lives? What are we valuing and what just doesn't add up? Okay. So that began what's called the eclipse corridor. Okay. And the eclipse corridor, click. There we go. Oh, that's the Mercury retrograde one. But the eclipse corridor is the period between when the lunar eclipse happened and when the solar eclipse is going to happen. And during this time, all this shifty lunar Libra energy is going on. But starting on April 1st, this bad boy right here, this is the planet Mercury, gorgeous as it is one of the biggest pains in my butt. Okay. Pain in most of ours. Okay. Because Mercury retrograde, as many people say online, Freddy's in Gatorade again. Okay. Or Freddy's in the microwave again. Take your pick. But Mercury retrograde is a time where communications, technology, and travel become negatively impacted. Now, when you're talking about a Mercury retrograde, you're looking at, okay, is the planet really going backwards? No. Planets never really go backwards. Okay. What happens is we have the Earth that's going on an elliptical orbit and it's kind of going around the sun, doing its thing. Okay. And Mercury's kind of like a slightly off orbit. And it's also a little closer. So we're going to put the Mercury on the right. And it's going near, near, near to our. So this eventually gets to the point to where we hit the corner, kind of like NASCAR. Okay, have you ever hit the corner really fast and you're like, centrifugal forces? Okay, we're kind of turning that corner and we're speeding up a little bit. And Mercury is like, oh, shoot, you're going faster than me. So for a little bit, we go together, and that's the shadow phase. And then Earth starts going a little bit faster as we're doing the corner. And the Mercury's like, oh my God, I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. But to us, it looks like it's going backwards, but it's just trailing us. And then eventually we get back on the regular track and Mercury hits the gas and it goes right past us again. That's when things go back in direct. Okay. So Mercury retrograde, when it's going backwards, it means to us things are working kind of backwards in a negative light on communication, travel, and technology. So what happens? Technology doesn't work the way you expect it to. Okay. Um, Communication, like let's say you're talking to a narcissist. The narcissist will absolutely forget the fact that they normally have a filter. Okay. So they'll be normally like, "Oh, yes, you can trust me 100%. Yes, don't you believe me? You believe me, right? Okay, yes, good." Their normal thing where everybody's going, "Uh-huh, we believe you, Mr. Narcissist." Then he gets up there and is like, "Hey, by the way, I grabbed it in a place that was inappropriate the other day." And everybody's like, "Whoa. Okay, the real you showing." Okay. The Mercury retrograde is really great for those filters to go off and people to reveal the truths about themselves. It's also a great time to reevaluate. We were talking earlier about sometimes you have old friends, old acquaintances, old lovers that'll come to your mind. And one of two things will happen during that time when Mercury retrograde is bringing that up to you. One of two things should happen. One, you evaluate, what did I learn from my interactions with that person that's popping back into my life, or that at least I'm thinking about again? Or two, maybe I should reach out and rekindle. Think first, act second, because there are a lot of times when we're going through our Mercury retrograde and think maybe I should rekindle with no, we really shouldn't. And then other times it'll be like, you know what? I had a really great relationship and really great friendship with that person. And then they moved to Germany, Tasha, and I haven't talked to them in like 6 months, Tasha. Uh, you're on my brain, Tasha. So you maybe need to think about reaching out, Shia, to Tasha so that I can say, hey, and see how my little niece is doing. Okay. So that's one of the things that's a positive and a negative to it as well. So I like the way Jarek put it. And I don't know, Jarek, if you're on right now, but Jarek said, yes, when we go into the Mercury retrograde, every time he sees retrograde, it's the re time. Rethink, reevaluate, repose, re rest, whatever, it's your re time to redo. Okay, reevaluate the whole 9 yards. The other thing that's going to happen is Venus. Okay, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. We all know that because, men are from Mars. And Venus is just the cooler planet. But yes, Venus is going into Aries. All right. This is the beautiful representation of the planet Venus with, of course, ram, head, butt, everything. So, what is that going to mean? That's going to happen tomorrow, actually. And that means that it's going to give that head, buddy, ram, Aries, fire, crazy energy to your love life. Okay, or to your, it can help you be more assertive in areas like love or financial matters, because Venus actually is in charge of financial matters as well. So you can be more assertive in love, more assertive in financial matters. It kind of gives you, maybe if you're a D&D player like I am, you get a 1d4 for charisma bonus. All right. So roll your 1d4. Those of you who are closer to the Aries or in an Aries or have Aries in any of your houses, you get a bonus of +2 on your 1d4 roll. Okay. I'm seeing some grins, so I think I'm hitting my audience a little bit on the D&D thing. All right, so you get a 1d4 guidance charisma from Venus entering Aries on your financial and your relationships, and all of you guys who are familiar with it and comfortable with that Aries energy get a +2. All right. So let me know what your role is, and we'll DM you from that point. So this is a really good thing to happen, but it's also another energy to throw out there. So now we've got this like hyped up energy from the Libra lunar eclipse. Now we've got Aries in your love life going headbutt, yeah. And now we have coming up the eclipse itself, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm going to talk about what comes after the eclipse, and then we're going to circle back to the eclipse. Next thing after the eclipse, Mars. Angry red little Mars, love it, is in conjunction with Saturn, Big Daddy Saturn, okay, in Pisces. Now, first of all, to understand what that is, I'm going to have to explain what a conjunction is, because you guys said that you were somewhat new in the areas of astrology. A conjunction is, you think about conjunction junction, think about things being conjoined, coming together. That is when you have a line. Everybody's in line. We're lined up. Astrologically, we have a 0 degree looking out from the Earth, 0 degrees difference between us, Saturn, and Pisces and Mars are all lining up. So if we look out and we look at Saturn, well, actually, we probably will see a little bit of Saturn because we'll see the Mars first is lined up over here, because Mars will be on the other side. Then we have Saturn, and then we have the Pisces out there. So it's all in a line. All right. So what does that mean? This one is going to actually demand, and this is right after the eclipse. This is April 10th when this happens. It's going to demand you to be more disciplined. Big Daddy Saturn, he's the big planet in our solar system. He's got the cojones. He's the one who organizes everything. That's why I call him Big Daddy Saturn. Okay, he just kind of lumbers through everything in his place, and a place for everything. You must do things just the right way. Think before you act. When you think about Big Daddy Saturn, you should think about that daddy that will just turn around and give it to you straight. He's not going to pull any punches. He's going to sit you down. He's going to say in a caring way, hey, you messed up. You need to go fix this. Hey, You should probably organize your stuff. He's also the big daddy that'll take you out to the park on Saturdays too. He's a nice guy. But he likes everything in a place and a place for everything. So he's going to demand, because you're here, Mars is going to be like action. Mars is all about that red, fiery energy, right? Mars is going to be action, and Big Daddy Saturn is going to be like, be disciplined. So, what that's saying is you need disciplined action and strategic planning, but then you have Pisces, which is your sign of being all up in your feels. Okay, what's your sign, by the way? Just Cancer. Okay, so but you're close to Pisces as far as up in your feels with the Cancer. All right, but the Pisces is definitely like big time, all up in your feels. So now you're going to be feeling like, I'm feeling an emotional heaviness. I'm feeling an emotional weight. And I'm feeling like I got to get up and I got to do something because Mars is coming in and Saturn's telling me to be organized. And I'm just up in my feels right now with this stuff. So that's what you're going to have to deal with right after the eclipse. Because there's lots of crazy stuff going on. But yes, the need for assertive Mars energies with Saturn's call for responsibility and structure is going to absolutely start messing with your emotional well being. All right. Bluetooth connection succeeded. Yay. All right. So thankfully, the next thing that's going to happen, all right, which we are very, very happy about, and this happens on 420. Okay. 420 makes everybody a lot more chill. All right. Why is 420 got a picture of a bull up here with the sun? Because 420 is when we enter into Taurus season. Okay. And that's going to make everybody a lot more chill because we're Aries, we're like, fire, 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 yeah, fire. Okay. Taurus is all about ground. And the way I explained it, we had a young one that was in here earlier, is that have you ever noticed right before a bull is going to charge, what do? They square up, they set their feet on the ground, and they start pawing. Okay. They get their connection with the earth. And it's that connection with the earth that gives them that power to just go whoom, and make their stuff happen, plan their things out. The bulls actually plan. Okay. So it's going to shift a lot of focus and energy on 420 to that a lot more chill, a lot more stable. So all that headbutt, headbutt, headbutt is going to be like, all right, we're going to chill now. We're going to sit down. All right. And then, of course, the last thing that's going to happen also on 420 is Jupiter is going to conjunction with Uranus, which is Jupiter and Uranus are both about how you earn and spend money. That's Uranus. Jupiter is how staying in your status quo, your belief structures, and things like that. So, with that coming up into Taurus, it's going to kind of stabilize out your belief systems a little bit. Okay. The Uranus is going to help stabilize all that uncertainty in your financial realm in the areas that you've been thinking about for, innovation, what are you going to do? So you can take all this crazy eclipse energy that's going to come and channel it in towards something positive and productive once 420 comes around and things get a lot more grounded. And yes, I recognize the pun intended. We don't have any children in the audience right now, so I can get away with that. All right. So let's talk about the actual eclipse corridor. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Oh, I did that. That was a Jupiter conjunction in Uranus and Taurus. So, yes, there's our conjunction. Does that not look cool? I think that looks cool. Kind of everything's coming together. So we have this angsty kind of fiery energy meeting with the earth energy and kind of bringing everything together. All right. So the next thing that we're going to be looking into is all the shifty energy. Now, where did I go? See, I got messed up on my changes for my images, and look at what I did to myself. So, okay, that was change image, change it. See, I put little change images on my little notes here. I'm crazy like that. All right, so yes. Here we go. What image should we be on? Deep emotions. That was conjunction in Taurus. That was, oh, yes, full moon in Scorpio. That's why I'm like, why do I have a Scorpio image on the screen? That's right. Full moon in Scorpio is our next major thing that's going to be happening on the 24th. Now, Scorpio, you're like, wait a second, Shiya, That doesn't look like a scorpion. That looks like a bunch of phoenixes on the screen. Did you know that the other image for Scorpio is about Phoenix, is a phoenix? Now, a lot of people think that the Scorpio, scorpion, negative energy, stuff like that. But one of the things you have to recognize about a Scorpio, Scorpios are like the masters of rising from the ashes. Okay. Scorpios are that kind of person where they'll be down and out, but never count them down. Part of that is like, hey, you think they're down and out, but right when you think they're about ready to give up the fight, there comes that scorpion sting. Okay. The other thing is when you're down and out, they get themselves together. They are another fire sign. They get themselves together and say, you know what? You may have burned me, but I'm going to fly again. Okay. So that's kind of the energy that's going to be coming with this full moon is like, okay, now you're going to, you've had this time of, shifty stuff with the eclipse corridor, all these emotions, all these energies are coming at once. Then we have 420 coming along. Okay, we can calm down just a little bit. We have our conjunction with Saturn and Pisces and Uranus coming together. We're getting in our feels. We're kind of chilling a little bit. And then the full moon comes along with Scorpio energy. And it's like, okay, I have been through a train wreck. I have been run over by a Mack truck. And then the Mack truck backed over again. And then the Mack truck went forward again because Shia warned me that all this stuff with all these shifty energies is going to be happening. So I've been run over by a Mack truck a few times now. All right. We're getting calmed down. And now I'm going to rise from the ashes. I'm going to take all of this wonderful energy that has created and wreaked havoc in me, and I'm going to put it towards a good use. Okay. So when that full moon comes along, take that time to gather up all that full moon energy and say, all right, here's how I'm rising from the ashes. Here's what I really want to do with my stuff. Okay. So that's something that's really important going forward. Now, of course, the eclipse corridor we talked about and the things that we've been going through at this point so far. All of the energies in our eclipse corridor between Libra and the 8th are bringing about encouraging breaking free from our past patterns. Because, like we said, we don't like change. The eclipse is literally coming around to headbutt us to accepting change because we want things better. We always like, I want my life to be better. I want my life to be better. Well, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. The eclipse is going to make you stop being crazy. You may feel like it's making you crazy, but it's going to take you out of that insanity and put you in a whole nother realm of insanity. The next thing is the universal influence. Absolutely. With all this eclipse stuff going on, we mentioned this earlier, doesn't matter where you are, what sign you are going to be impacted by this eclipse energy for sure. This eclipse corridor time is a time for you to spend in reflecting, okay? As you're looking back, you want to reflect. You want to take some time to kind of, same thing Mercury retrograde is having us do. Look back, reflect, and go through our past to understand, okay? But one of the things that's going to be really cool is this dude right here, all right? Chiron. How many of you guys are familiar with Chiron? A little bit? You've heard of it? Okay. Chiron is not a planet, but he's an important person in astrology. As you see over there behind our centaur dude, which is actual Chiron, we're kind of representing him. He's a centaur, is his comet. Now, Chiron has a somewhat erratic yet stable orbit in our solar system. Now, we call it erratic because it seems to the naked eye or to those of us who are not astronomers that, okay, where's this freaking comet going to be? But astronomers can sit there and to the nth degree, figure out exactly where Chiron's going to be at any given point because he does have enough of a presence in our solar system and enough of a trajectory that they can predict it. Now, Chiron in astrology, he's often referred to as the wounded healer. All right. Now, when we talked about conjunctions earlier, and this is the cool thing, Chiron is in conjunction with the sun and the moon and the earth for the eclipse. So on April 8th, we're not only just talking about, oh my gosh, we got solar and lunar energy coming together. Oh my gosh, Chiron is in complete line, 0 degrees, in complete line with our solar eclipse. So he is a heavy, heavy hitter in this game. Now, Chiron, the wounded healer, he is kind of a jerk and kind of awesome all at the same time. Okay. He is that kind, loving, wise doctor that will absolutely re-break your bones in order to make them heal right. Okay. He will come up to you and say, "Oh, by the way, does this hurt?" While he's digging his finger into your wound. And he's like, "Does that hurt?" Okay. And you're like, "Yes, that hurts. Please stop." Because don't worry, I'm just cleaning it out. We're going to dress it and we're going to get it all clean so it'll heal up right. He brings pain, but he brings pain in such a way that it helps us see what our deepest wound is. Okay. Now, Chiron's really nice. But remember the whole Aries thing? We Aries are crazy. We headbutt. All right? We headbutt. So now you've got Chiron energy mixed in with the Aries, mixed in with the change in the eclipse energy. Guess what's going to happen? Your worst fears, your worst wounds, your worst traumas, and oh, Mercury retrograde is going on during this time too. All of those past traumas are going to be coming back and energy wise and saying, deal with it. Yeah, oh, you didn't want to deal with it? Oh, well, deal with it anyway. Okay. And it's going to be up and in our faces saying, this is the stuff that you need to fix. This is the stuff that you need to change. Now, you can do what a lot of people are going to do and be like, "Oh, wow, I'm feeling really funky about all of this stuff. I'm feeling really weird with all of these energies." Okay, yeah. Oh, look, that's really cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, eclipse is over. Bye. And go on with your life. Okay? Because that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to feel really funky, really shifty, and all of this stuff, but they're not going to take the time to learn from this. They're not going to take the time to accept and absorb these energies, to do their inner work, their shadow work, so to speak, and do what it needs to make long term positive cognitive change. All right? Now, does this mean that the eclipse is not affecting them? No, it affects them. But it's just like taking somebody to therapy that doesn't really want to be there. You can give them all the therapy in the world and say, "Hey, here it is, all on a silver platter. This is how you change your life. This is how you change your world. You just say no to narcissists. You set boundaries. You do your cognitive behavioral change, all your night tapping and EFT and all this other stuff, and do this, and your life will totally change." And then you have these people that will walk out of therapy and say, "That's nice," quack, wander off and do their own thing. Okay. Then you have people like us who will come and say, "You know what? You're giving me all this wonderful information. Let me see how I can apply it in my life." Okay. So working on this and applying it in your life, spot on. All right. Now, Chiron is also a leader as much as he is a wounded healer. And Aries, of course, is big on leadership. Give us a half a chance and we will take over everything. I want to take the world over. Yes, that's what I'm doing. What are we doing tonight, Pinky? Or what are we doing tonight, Brain? Narf. Oh, we're taking over the world. I swear Brain was an Aries. Okay. Either that or a Leo. Take one. Because Leos like to be out in the forefront and in charge of everything too. Love you, Otivia. Um, but basically, what we've got here, we've got all these sudden shifts and new paths. So it's going to be up to you whether you're going to take a new path or whether you're going to stay on the same road that you've been on this whole time. So once you know, once you're in the know, then you're going to have to make the choice for yourself. So I thought we'd go over one quick thing that I think everybody's interested in. Well, what does this mean for me? Well, we're going to go through every stupid sign in the zodiac and even the non-stupid ones, which is everything but Aries. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. We are number one. Now, why is Aries number one? Does anybody know? Anybody want to take a guess on why Aries is number one? This is actually at the beginning of spring, used to be the new year. And this is where the April Fool's Day came from. The new year began on April 1st. The new year began with spring. Okay. And so this was where April Fool's Day came from, because eventually they changed the natural calendar to the Gregorian calendar, which we use today, which is the Anno Domini in the year of our Lord, AD or BC. That sort of thing. That's the Gregorian calendar. And once we got the Gregorian calendar, they said, oh, yeah, New Year, January 1st. Sounds great. It's right after Yule, right after Christmas. That sounds awesome. Okay. So all the people in the cities who were learned and educated and switching over to the Gregorian calendar were like, yes, we are so learned and so wonderful. We know when the new year starts now. Whereas all those country bumpkins who have been their entire life starting their new year in April, well, they're just a bunch of fools. And that's where April Fools came from. But that's why the zodiac starts with Aries, is because that's where the year used to start back in the day. So Aries is and shall always be, we're number one. So how is it going to affect Aries? Okay. Now let's talk about what Aries is. We've talked about Aries loves to headbutt. Okay. Aries, I have heard their positive traits: courageous, energetic, pioneering, and adventurous. Yeah, okay. Not to toot my own horn or anything. Okay. I'm an Aries. I can't help myself. I can, but why would I? All right. But we can also be impulsive, impatient. Oh, I feel so called out right now. Oh my gosh. Aggressive. The biting words. All right. And we can be a little bit self centered, a little bit. Okay, so that's a little bit about Aries. So how is it going to impact Aries for this eclipse? Okay, for Aries, the eclipse is going to directly challenge us to embrace a significant, and I do mean significant, personal transformation. Okay, so it's in our sign, and basically the eclipse is like, oh yeah, you won the lottery on this, but you're also going to get beat up the hardest. Thanks, Big Daddy Saturn and Universe. Appreciate that. All right. But it'll help push us Arieses into a new version of ourselves, into who we are. It's a period for basically being bold and self assertive, to potentially redefine our identity and our path in life. Okay. So, this is a great time for all of us Aries to confront our old fears and just headbutt our way through it. Okay. Because we got the extra Saturn, or we got the extra solar energy just behind us doing that. But remember, it is also going to point out stuff that, oh my gosh, Chiron the Wounded Healer is telling us we really got to get rid of that negative crap that we just, oh, do you mean that baggage that I'm dragging along with me? I got to actually let it go? Do I have to? Fine. All right, I'm good now. That's Aries. That's why we do it. All right, so the next one up, of course, is Taurus. I love my little images I came up with on these things. It's great. So, Taurus, we just talked about before, and this is the perfect follow up to Aries, and the crazy fiery Aries energy is an earth sign. Okay. A reliable, patient, practical, and devoted. All right. When they're in their good side, on their bad side, they're stubborn, possessive, inflexible, and because they're an earth sign, a little bit on the materialistic side. Earth signs, they like to collect stuff. Okay, so if you have a hoarder in your life, they may be a Taurus. All right, so how is this going to affect Tauruses? Any Tauruses that we have here? And my sister who is on right now too, and she's like, oh, I don't want to do it. You got to do it, Sherry. Sorry. But basically, Taurus, you guys are going to have a deep, deep dive into your inner selves. Okay. You're going to actually, this is a time for Tauruses to really check their spiritual compass, especially with all the other energy going around, exploring your spirituality and your subconscious. Did I just say shadow work time? I think I did. Ouch. Poor Tauruses. Okay. But for Taurus, this is less about outward change and more about inward changes for you guys. It's more about you guys looking within and saying, Where are my thoughts taking me? Where are my ideas taking me? What are my core belief sets? Do I have limiting belief sets that I need to let go? Do I have my old traumas that I'm just dragging along with me? It's time to kick those out the door, okay? But Taurus, it's about going inside, and the eclipse energy is going to draw you within yourself to look deep down into the core of your earth sign to figure your stuff out. All right, next up, I don't know if who are my Geminis on here tonight. Geminis, you know, I love my Geminis. I do. Some people are like, I can't stand Geminis because they can never make up their damn minds on anything. You know what? Geminis have a unique ability to see things from multiple perspectives. And if you don't have a Gemini in your immediate friend circle, I highly recommend it. Love you, Jess. Um, because they do help you see things. They can easily play devil's advocate as well as being supportive with you at the same damn time, which is great. Amber is a Gemini. Woohoo! Geminis of the world. Untie. No. But Geminis, you guys are adaptable. You guys are outgoing, intelligent, and curious. Okay. But there is a negative side, inconsistent, indecisive, nervous. And here's one that you could say, whether it's a positive or negative, they're cunning. They're very, very cunning. Now, that can be used in a positive way or a negative way, just like anything else. Okay. So, personally, I feel like that's a positive trait, but that's just my opinion for what it's worth. Now, what's going to happen with you Geminis? Expect changes in your social circle. Okay. This is all about changes in your social circles, and you're going to realize the quantity and the quality of the individuals that you have in your life. The eclipse and Mercury retrograde together is going to call out the BS in your social circle. You're going to realize, hey, that person that you thought really wasn't the best person around actually has your back. And that person who acted like they had your back over there has been trash talking you for the past 6 months. So, time to make some changes, you think? It's also going to be a very important time for Geminis to seek out external emotional support. Okay. Yeah. Shira, you've been sorting friends. Gemini. Yes, absolutely. So you're going to need to get your emotional support structures together, Geminis. Quit trying to do everything your damn selves. Ask for help. Ask for the emotional support that you need. You're also going to be very engaged. You're going to be motivated to engage, outwardly engage. So this is a great time, Geminis, for you to get out and make new friends now that you realize that over there, the person who's been trash talking you for the past 6 months need to step on and step out the door. You're going to have a chance to make some new friends. Now, we have a audience member, Cancer. Yay! All right, now how much do you love this? Is this not a Cancerian image right here? This is Cancer right there. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. I'm like, yeah. Just kind of when you look at it, you just get all the kind of feels like, now this is a little shout out for my stepson and my bonus stepson. Okay, because they had this little game they play called RimWorld, and they had their little people worship the crab. So this was their little thing that they did to worship the crab. So we have our little crab worshiping moment, okay, for Cancerian. So yes, so that's kind of what I see when I see that. So Cancers, you guys are compassionate, intuitive, protective, and have great emotional depth. You guys are what I consider the second most touchy feely in the zodiac. First one being Pisces, in my opinion. Okay. But on the bad side, moody, pessimistic. When's that other shoe going to drop? Oh, there it is. Knew it was coming. All right. Clingy. I would know anything about that. Yeah, I'm very clingy. I get it though. And sometimes considered overly sensitive. Now, I hate when somebody says you're overly sensitive because to me that's a gaslighting term. But we can, and people who are in their feels too much can turn around and take it maybe just that scotch bit too far. So, whereas maybe other people you shouldn't be listening to when they come up to you and say you're being overly sensitive, you should listen to yourself and decide whether you're being overly sensitive or whether you're reacting appropriately to whatever the situation is. Now, how this is going to affect you. Oh boy, you ready for this? This is a career and public image pivot point for you. Okay. This is a chance for you to absolutely reset everything. How you want to be perceived and how you want to go forward in your career. Okay. This eclipse is going to do really significant shifts on how you're perceived and how you choose to be perceived on a professional level. This is going to hit you more in your professional. Now, all the other stuff is too, but the biggest energies are going to be in your professional level. You're going to also, because of this energy, the universe is going to throw some extra opportunities at you. All of a sudden, it's going to be like you're sitting there, you're minding your own business, and hey, opportunity, and you're going to be like, I don't know what to do with this now. This just came out of left field. I'm in forget fight or flight. I'm in freeze. Okay, because where's this coming from? How do I even feel about this? I got to think about this for a minute. All right, that's going to be what the universe is throwing at you constantly right now, and so you're going to be encouraged by the universe to kick on more leadership roles or pursue new career paths. Okay, this is a definite time for Cancerians to embrace new career changes and decide. And here's the cool thing, even if you're not up for changing careers, you can actually make a choice of, hey, this is where I want to go long term. Start making a plan because a dream is just a dream until you start turning into a plan, right? So you can start dreaming in that direction. Keep this energy and say, you know what? I am finally going to study for that LVN that I was thinking about. I've been to CPN, a CNA for too long. I'm good at it. I like caring for people. I think I'm going to work on getting my licensed vocational nurse instead. So I'm going to start researching that, but I'm going to bring all this energy into me and see what is it that I'm really passionate about. Healing people? Yes, I'm going to get an LVN. And you know what? Someday I might get my RN. And you know what? Nurse practitioner. Yeah. It's going to take me a hot minute, but I'm going there. Okay. So just because it's saying, oh, eclipse energy is all about that career shake up and change, doesn't mean you got to do it right now. Get up, go now, shoot, go, do it now. No, I'm kidding. But you should at least use that energy to start storing up and making plans for your changes. Okay. Now, next up, I don't know if I have my Leo crew on, which includes Diane, Otivia, and Ed, and a whole bunch of you guys, Leos. All right. I showed this to my friend Otivia earlier, and I'm like, she's a Leo. I'm like, how you feel about that? She's like, yeah, that is so awesome. Leo is definitely a fire sign. Okay. So what are Leos good at? Leos are very generous people. Okay, they're like, I kind of, when I think of Leos, I think of Oprah at the beginning of a show. And you get a car, and you get a car, and you get an eclipse, and you get an eclipse, and you get an eclipse. Okay, they are like, they want to give, but they want to give in the biggest way they can. Okay, because they're Leos. They like being in that sunshine. They're very warm hearted, creative, and joyful people in general. However, they can be arrogant. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We Aries can get that way too. Yeah. All of us sun signs can get a little bit, fire signs can get a little bit arrogant. Okay. Your daughter's a Leo. Okay. You tell me, Barbara, if this is correct. They can get stubborn. Nobody does stubborn like a Leo does stubborn. Okay. There's stubborn signs and then there's Leos. All right. Well, now I take that back. Virgo's pretty darn stubborn too. But yeah, they can be self-centered and sometimes lazy. Hey, why do it myself if I can use my Leo charisma to make you do it? You gonna go do it? You would do it, don't you? Thank you. Appreciate that. Bye. Okay. That's what the Leos, they've learned how to use that. Okay. So what does it mean for Leos? All right. It's going to give them a kind of like a, well, shall we say itchy feet, wanderlust, adventure. They're going to start craving adventure, learning, broadening your horizons, and possibly again travel and education. All right. So this is what the eclipse is going to bring you, this kind of like itchy feet and itchy brain. Got to get out and do stuff, got to learn new things, got to have enjoy time. This is also going to bring about a period for Leos, a period of abundance for you guys. Okay. It's going to encourage you to explore new beliefs, new cultures, expand your worldview. Because you Leos, y'all enjoy that shit. Truly. All right, you're called Leos, you're called to open your mind and embrace the unknown. Ooh, yes. And that will lead you to your own personal growth and transformation. Now, here's another sign I'm crazily familiar with. And you know what? This has got to be because I use my AI graphics generator to help me create some of these and stuff. And this has to be the most simple one out there. This is so Virgo. This is so Virgo. If you have any Virgos, who's my Virgos here? Virgos here. Okay. Oh, you just bought a book on Hinduism. Are you a Virgo, Shira? Or are you a Leo? But basically, Virgos, they are the most analytical. When I talk about Big Daddy Saturn, okay, we're definitely talking about Virgo energy, a place for everything and everything is placed. But Virgos take it a step further. Virgos turn around and say, this is the policy, this is the procedure, this is how it shall be done. Nope, nope, nope. This way. No, this way. No, everybody stay in the, no, we're not just staying in one pond. Ducks row right now. Okay. That's a Virgo for you. Whereas the rest of us Aries is like, we're lucky to have all our ducks anywhere in our random vicinity. They may or may not be in the pond. Just saying. Okay. Virgos are very practical, analytical, kind, and hardworking. I'll agree with that. Lived with one for 24 years. All right. However, on the negative side, they can be overly critical. I don't want to hear it. And all work and no play. They're worry prone and perfectionists. In my experience, they will find the most complicated way they can to do something. Like, I'll look for the closest point from A to B, whereas a Virgo will be A, C, G, H, Y, W, Z. Wasn't that fun? And they'll think that that's the only way it can be done. That's my personal experience with Virgos, though. For Virgos, you guys are going through themes of transformation, uncovering deeper truths that will prompt you to heal from your past experiences. This is a time that you guys really need to rebalance and evaluate your financial and emotional. Okay. This is a time for introspection for you guys on a financial and emotional level, especially what we were talking about with that conjunction with Venus that we were looking into earlier with Saturn and Venus. Okay. This is definitely a time for you guys to reevaluate your processes. All right. You Virgos may not want to turn around. My processes are perfect. Yeah. How's that working for you? Okay. Reevaluate, check, see what works, what doesn't, do an A/B test, whatever you got to do. But Virgos, it's about reevaluating romantic and financials. All right. Now, up next is Libra, which we talked about. We had that wonderful lunar eclipse in Libra. Libras, I'm sure you guys felt that big time. Okay. So, Libras, they're definitely all about balance. They are very good at cooperation. They're very, very diplomatic. Some of the best diplomats in the world are Leos. Okay. They are big on fairness, fair minded fairness. Things are balanced and can be very gracious. Okay. However, Libras have a lot in common with Geminis because they're weighing things out. They can be indecisive. Nah, that one. Okay. They can avoid confrontation. Sometimes Libras, they are some of the worst for carrying grudges. Some people might say Scorpios. I say it's a Libra. And they can be very self-pitying. It's not fair. That's like the mantra of Libras. Libras. It's not fair. That's definitely not effing fair. That sort of thing. So what's going to go for you, Libras? Okay, relationships. You sense a recurring theme going on here? Maybe just a little bit. Okay, you are actually going to be challenged in your relationships. This is not a you look outward, Libras. This is not a let's look outward and evaluate everybody else and how they fit. No, this is about, oh, What am I doing in my relationships? Am I the right person in this relationship? What do I need to do to be the best person in this friendship, in this love ship, in this give ship, in this relationship? How can I be better? That's what it's about for you guys. This is also might bring it into some relationships that are no longer working for you, no longer serving your highest and greatest good. Okay. So it's time, Libras, for you guys to start making space for better connections. When you realize, when you're looking at myself, here I am. How is this relationship working for me? How am I in this relationship? How's it benefiting me? Yeah, it's not okay. Let's move on to a better thing. So that's how it's going to affect you, Libras. All right. So now it's time for you guys to embrace potential for new commitments and focus on balance and mutual respect. Okay. So up next we have our Scorpio, and this time, yes, we have the actual Scorpion instead of the Phoenix, because that is also a representation. Now, of course, when we look up in the sky, the constellation looks more like a Scorpion, but like I said, the Phoenix is very much associated with the Scorpio, because I'll tell you what, you can kick a Scorpio. You can crush a Scorpio. You can beat the living daylights out of a Scorpio. You can abuse them. You can traumatize them. You can do whatever you want to a Scorpio, and they will not quit. Those Scorpios are some of the most resilient in the signs. Truly, they come back. When you think they're down and out, they will come back and sting you. They will get you. They will take care of it. Okay, so Scorpios, they're very passionate, resourceful, and some of the bravest and truest friends you can find. Okay, what's negative about Scorpios? Well, they can be a little bit distrusting. Why? Because they have had the living daylights beaten out of them in life most of the time. I have rarely met a Scorpio that hasn't endured some level of trauma. It's like, oh, you're a Scorpio? Hanami Patri Sitilia Domini Sanctu Amen. Okay, I will pray for you. All right, because they have been through trauma. They can also be very jealous, secretive, and occasionally manipulative. Okay, so yes, it's one of those things. So, what are Scorpios going to go through? Scorpios, welcome to your daily routine getting completely foobarred. In case anybody doesn't know what foobar means, it's effed up beyond all recognition or beyond all repair. Take your pick. Depends on what branch of the service you served in or you learned this from, okay? But your daily routines and your health practices are going to need to change. What does that mean? Diet time, maybe time to eat a little healthier. You need balance and wellness in your daily routines and in your health routines. That's what it's going to really bring to you. Also, might highlight areas of your work life that require adjustment. That's part of your daily routines. All right. So the solar eclipse, Aries, is going to come and headbutt you and say, the shit you're doing every day, not as good as you really should be doing it. Okay. So maybe find a way to balance things out a little bit better. You know what I mean? So let's look on our next one, Sagittarius. All right. Now, my stepson, Will, he's a Sagittarius. So this is going to be for him. Sagittarius is, I mean, I love this image. I'm so happy with all the images I created because it's just, they really fit their zodiac. And I'm going to be posting all of these over the weekend with your astrology, well, what do you call it? Horoscope for Monday, for your eclipse horoscope. But Sagittarius, generous, idealistic, great sense of humor, and adventurous. Absolutely. That's me. That's me. Barbara says. Okay. So, getting out there, having fun. You look at this guy and he's like, yeah, I'm doing the thing. Sagittarius. What's negative about Sagittarius? Well, sometimes they get in over their head. Sometimes they promise. I have somebody on our yes. Where they'll be able to get go to ladyshia.com and I will have it all posted up on my Facebook from there. But from ladyshia.com, you can get everywhere. But I'll have all of this posted sometime over the weekend. Not sure when, but sometime over the weekend. I'm ADHD. I'm neurospicy. I know I'll get it done before Monday because I will do it, whether I feel like it or not. I will get it done before Monday. I may feel like it tomorrow, or I may feel like it at 3 a.m. on Sunday night, but it'll be done before Monday. Okay. So Sagittarius says they can promise more than they can deliver. Many a time they can be impatient, and sometimes they Sagittariuses are the kings and queens of open mouth, insert foot. Okay, we were talking about this earlier. I'm looking at one of our Sagittarius here. Okay, that it's like, oh yeah, let me just come out and say the first thing that's on my mind. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I did not mean that. I'm sorry. Let me just kind of. I didn't mean to say that. Okay. Yes, I am crazy and I will do crazy things. All right. But here's what's going to happen for you guys. It is a time of creativity. All right. You guys with the eclipse are like the $1 million idea people right now. Okay. You've got all this creative expression and just like energetic creativity bubbling, bubbling, bubbling inside. All right. Now you're going to have to work really, really hard to not just bleh, that everywhere because as much as it's bubbling, nobody likes it when you throw it up. Okay. It might be great. Make sure it comes out planned and not bleh. Okay. This is also going to be a time for um, really evaluating your romantic encounters. All right. Because you're going to be wanting to just say whatever comes to your mind. We got the Venus energy with Mars going on too. And so this is going to be a time for you to watch your romantic encounters. You're going to have some opportunities come up. And these opportunities are for Sagittarius, it's going to be make or break time on a lot of this. Okay. Make or break time depending on how, if you can think before you speak. It's going to be the big if. Okay. Because when you're having these romantic encounters or even non romantic encounters with friendships and stuff like that, you're going to be like, hey, we need to talk. I hate it when you do blah, 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 blah. Well, I had no idea you felt that way. Oh, I didn't mean it that. I still love you. But you, Sagittarius, just told me that you hate it when I do blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how I meant it. I meant it in a let's work this through and work it together. Well, that's not how I took it. I just took it that you were being really critical of me. All right. Whereas the Sagittarius can turn around and say, hey, can we have a conversation? I'd like us to work through some things. And I want to start off with saying how much I love you and appreciate you. And these are the things I value in our relationship. And I think there's some things that we can do to bring our relationship to a deeper level or next level or where we can renew or reconnect our relationship. You see the difference? Same conversation, different approach. So, Sagittarius, it's up to you on how you want to approach the situations. Okay. Um, also for you guys, like I said, it's very, very, very favorable for you guys to engage in anything creative. The more you can put your hands on it, the more you can get your fingers into the artwork, whatever, cooking, whatever creative expression you do, get out there and make it happen because it's freaking awesome for you. Okay. Capricorn, this is the weirdest zodiac sign. Not because of anything having to do with Capricorn, but because it has a mergoat as its symbol. Have you ever seen? I mean, this one it cut off the bottom half, but you have the goat there, okay? And if you ever look at the bottom half, it's got a fish tail. It's a mergoat. It's a mermaid goat. Who comes up with this stuff? A mermaid goat. That's weird. All I'm saying, okay? That's just a personal thing. So Capricorns, you guys are responsible, self-disciplined, self-control, good manners. Okay. Whereas the negatives, the other, they're know-it-alls, unforgiving, condescending, and can expect the worst. So Capricorns, what you guys get, your focus right now is home and family. Reflecting on your living situation and your personal foundations. You should be looking to redefine your long term projects and really get yourself involved in your long term projects and things surrounding home and hearth, home and hearth. Embrace the changes in your domestic life, home and hearth. That's what this eclipse is all about for you. Okay. Now we are coming towards the end, coming to my other half, the old wolf. Francis Capel is an Aquarius. Now, the Aquarius I think is weird too because they're known as the water bearer, but they're an air sign. Huh. Let me know if you ever figure that out because I sure as heck haven't. All right. So, Aquariuses, they can be progressive. They are definitely outside the box thinkers, artistic, intuitive, gentle, wise. or in my old wolf's case, a wise butt. Okay, the negative side of it can be um, that they run from emotional expression many times. Okay, they can be temperamental, uncompromising, and aloof at times. Okay, yeah, maybe they bring the rain. You're right, Sherry. Maybe, maybe. But what is about this is about for them is communication, communication, communication. Aries eclipse is going to headbutt them with communication energy. They're going to feel the need to take that center stage, to express themselves, to get their concepts across to other people. This is a time to have meaningful conversations, Aquarians. But be careful. Mercury retrograde communication. Okay, we got to be careful on that. Then, of course, it's also a time for them to embrace their curiosity and seek out new experiences that challenge their intellect. Okay, so Aquarians, get out there and have a little fun. And of course, last but certainly never the least, and always the most emotional, Pisces. Isn't that pretty? That is so Pisces. That is so like, beta fish, but with all the pretty colors. It's so, it puts me in my feels. I've got some Pisces in my rising. So yeah. Or actually, it's in my moon sign. Sorry. But Pisces, they are also very, very compassionate, very emotional. They are almost natural empaths. Very rarely have I met a Pisces that is not keenly aware of their feelings. But they can also be extremely fearful, overly trusting. They can be sad or morose or just a desire to escape reality because, well, the feels, they're hard. The feels are difficult for sure. Pisces, you guys are all going to be all about financial matters and personal values under review. Okay, this is going to give you a chance for you to develop your financial plan going forward, and you should be applying your personal ethics and your personal values to your financial self in order to have the best financial growth going forward. Right now is also a time to reevaluate your relationship with money and possessions. Some people, they have a negative relationship with money and things, and that can even be like, this is my thing. This is my thing. I like my thing. This is my thing. I'm gonna hold on to my thing. Sometimes it's clingy like that. Sometimes our bad relationship with things could be like, well, no, it's a thing. I must abstain. I must abstain with things. What you need to do is have a healthy balance. Hey, this is a thing. This is a person. This is a thing. This is a person. This matters to me. This matters more. I like this. This helps me. This matters more. And that's, where Pisces sometimes when they're trying to deal with their emotional self, they will turn to some of the material possessions and the things to turn around and say, "Oh, at least I can count on this. I know when I charge it up and turn it on, it's going to turn on. It's going to work for me every time. I am going to put my relationship values in this thing as opposed to these unpredictable, crazy, weird people who have emotions and feelings that bleed off onto me. Go away." All right. So you guys are going to be called, Pisces are going to be called to evaluate, hey, are you really putting your priorities where it needs to be? This is important, but there's a person. There's a person. There's a person. Time to re-engage. So it's going to challenge you a little bit on that. So in conclusion, Aries is, or this eclipse in Aries is definitely a time of change. There is no avoiding it. I don't care if you are the most unsensitive person on the planet. Oh, astrology never affects me. I don't even know what a sun sign is. There's planets that are moving up there and doing that. Retrograde never bothers me. You will be impacted by this. Even if you yourself are just absolutely perfectly zen, you are the most aware and awake person ever. You are aware of all the things going on in the astrology world around you. And oh, that's happening. Let me dodge. Oh, let me dodge that. Yep. Nothing's going to splatter on me. Well, guess what? Remember we talked about all those unpredictable people out there? They're all out there getting headbutted too. So when they get headbutted and you're over here dodging the astrological correspondences and stuff like that, they're going to come and headbutt and oh, they got headbutted and they landed on me. Oh, yeah. So brace yourselves, prepare, and don't look straight at the sun without some eclipse glasses. So that is, I also do lives every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I do free tarot readings on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can check me out by going to ladyshia.com. And I also have a radio show on Rochester Free Radio, 106.3 FM, which of course you can't get all the way out here because, well, we're about an hour out from Rochester, but you can listen at rochesterfreeradio.com, Thursdays 1 to 3 p.m. On Through the Veil. And thank you very much for joining me there today. So you Jessica came on and was an amazing guest. Thank you very much. So that being said, have a happy eclipse. Any questions, online or otherwise? Throw them at me. You have any of your people asking questions? Oh, okay. I got a bunch over there. How about you? Got some questions? Not that you can think of at the moment. It's a lot of information, everything, everywhere, all at once. Let's see if we have any questions online. Jonathan's calling. Pisces, are you calling? Oh, you're calling. Oh, Jonathan thinks that whatchamacallit, Aquarians are airheads. I'm going to tell Wolf you said that. I'm going to tell Wolf you said that. That's freaking hilarious. Making eclipse water. Yes, many times. Are you familiar with the concept of moon water? Okay. You can absolutely, water holds energy, period, point, and paragraph. There is not any kind of water that you can't make. This is actually scientifically proven. You can go, you can look it up. You can see the molecular structure of different waters, like the water over here that people yelled at and talked angry to has a different vibrational frequency than the water that was like, ah, I love you, water. You're so good. You're the real adult drink. Okay. Will actually have a different molecular frequency when put under an electron microscope. It's great. Look it up. I love science. Okay. So, yes, can you make eclipse water? Absolutely. Same thing. Put it out during the eclipse. Take it down after the eclipse is done. What will that water be charged with? Change and all the change energy that we have here and the things that we talked about for you. Also, if Aries fits in any of your houses, that in that particular house, like if you're looking at astrology houses, and you know where Aries falls in your chart, your Aries eclipse energy is going to hit more in that area of your chart, whether it be the area of yourself, your finances, your love, whatever. So let's see. Um, I made war water. That's interesting, Shira. No one knew what I meant by that in my area. Well, hey, that'll work. Um, yes, you can use rainwater. Yes, you can absolutely use rainwater for that. I recommend, first of all, if you're going to make any kind of blessed water, do it in a glass container, not a plastic one. Plastic also holds energies, and plastic has a lot of negative connotations. Glass won't hold the energy and is easily cleaned and cleansed. You can't cleanse plastic very well. You ever notice you put something in a plastic thing? Like, okay, put tomato sauce in a plastic container. What happens? It dyes it red almost permanently. You can sit there and get the Brillo pad to scrubby, and you're never getting that red off of those, especially if you get the cheapy Tupperware. Never happening. Okay, so it's just the same way. You want to stay with glass because that's a lot easier to cleanse. All right, any more questions? Moon in Aries, the first house, and Saturn, second house. So yes, first house is the house of self, and second house is the house of value. So you're going to be dealing with that a little bit. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for this chat. And again, if you guys have any questions, just leave them on the live, and I will come back and check it later. But thank you. And if anybody wants to tune in tomorrow night, I will be live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you guys can throw all your eclipse questions at me at that point as well. Okay. So, as usual, so glad to have everybody here and see how many people are still on, even. 9. Okay. That works. All right. Bye.